Okay, so good morning to everyone. So today's lesson, so we've taught a few things so far. We covered loving kindness, we covered impurities of the body, then we covered breath. So today I'll cover this open awareness kind of meditation. It's more geared towards insight or vipassana. So all the while the other previous meditation objects have like certain degree of samatha, certain degree of vipassana. So this one is 100% vipassana, 100%. So there's like no samatha involved. Okay, so this open awareness, like because in our life we have different cognitive function. So we mentioned about we have the restricted mind when we focus on one thing, then we have the expanded mind, then now we have the open awareness. That means we just zobo and do nothing, the mind run around freely. So even that is also part of, we call it, can be mindful, One can be mindful when the mind is not restricted, when the mind is roaming freely. One can gain wisdom out of this, as long one is mindful of its impermanence. So that's a tricky part. You need to be aware of how it arises and passes away. So thank you. So talking about vipassana, there's this conversation between Venerable Kotika and Venerable Sariputta. So Venerable Sariputta is the wisest disciple of the Buddha. So this Venerable Kotika asked Venerable Sariputta, how does a normal, like a sensual worldling, train and become this stream entry? Now how to enter stream entry? So Venerable Sariputta say, as long as a person continue to observe the five aggregates every moment. Observe the five aggregates: form, feeling, perception, mental formation, consciousness. Observe them as impermanent. He gave a whole list of reflection: impermanent, suffering, non-self, cancer, affliction, disease, error, emptiness, a lot of things. So he gave a whole list of things. So for our routine, just think of impermanence will do. Impermanence, because that's the most evidential. Some people want to talk about emptiness. Emptiness need to you need to come to a certain conclusion before come to emptiness. So nowadays a lot of people like to talk about emptiness, or a lot of chim stuff, non-self, emptiness, right? All those very chim and profound teachings. But labels is one thing. How they actualize it is a different thing. It's just like our, our, maybe your school textbook, your mathematics textbook. Normally at the end, all the answers are there, right? At the back of the book, all the answers are there. So people who claim or who like to speak about emptiness or non-self and that kind of stuff, usually they just refer to the back answer. Easy to say, emptiness, very easy to say. But what's the working involved to reach there? What's the process involved to get there? So it's important to start off with the evidence, which is impermanence. So that is the safest and the most recommended route. Part of the right mindfulness, so mindful of impermanence. Okay, so Venerable Sariputta answered, as long as you observe all these things, the five aggregates as impermanent, then one will become this stream enterer eventually. And then this Venerable Kotika continued to ask the question, then how about if one want to upgrade from a stream enterer to this once returner? Stream enterer, maximum reborn, 7 lifetime. Once returner, maximum reborn. Come back one more time to this human. So this Sariputta said the same thing. keep on reflect the 5 aggregates as impermanent, suffering, non-self, blah blah blah, the whole list of reflection. Then Bentong says, okay, how about what if a person want to upgrade from this once returner to non-returner? And you guess the answer? Same thing, same answer. 5 aggregates as impermanent. And then this Bentong continue to ask, how about if a person want to upgrade from non-returner to Arahant? What should one do? Guess what's the answer? Same thing, yes, that's right, same thing. So in short, Vipassana is just one step. Just think of impermanence. Reflect on impermanence. Very in line with the Satipatthana Sutta. Always mindful of impermanence. Yeah, so there's not many steps involved. Nowadays, I know some schools, they talk about 16 stages of insight and that kind of stuff. So they complicate things. Right? So the modern meditation manual, they talk about 16 steps. I think the Visuddhimagga. Then there's a book before that called the Vimuttimagga. So one generation before this author, right, Visuddhimagga, there's an author who wrote Vimuttimagga, Path to Liberation. And his insight, stage of insight only has 6 steps. And if you want to go further to original sutta, it's only 1 step. So from 1 to 6 to 16. So 1, 6, 16 is like the end of numbers. Okay, so to simplify things, I don't want to complicate things too much. So what happens is, if you have more steps, for example, some of the steps, like they tell you the first few steps of insight, they tell you, first you need to differentiate between nama rupa. You need to differentiate nama rupa, one of the first few stages of insight. So nama rupa, nama means mind, rupa means matter. Then you have a lot of translation problems. Some people translate nama as mind and rupa as body. So you have mind matter and mind body. So which one? There's a difference. Mind matter versus mind body. Matter can be anything, right? Matter is matter, this matter, this matter. If you restrict to body, then it's just body. Yeah? So if I see anything, hear anything, there's always nama rupa, mind matter. But if it is mind and body, then it will be very different. Yeah? So once you have mind and body, then you have another whole group of different interpretation and practices. Like some of the Thai forest monks I know, their interpretation of initially it is differentiating mind and nama rupa, yeah? Then become mind and body. Then now instead of differentiating, they retranslate it into separating mind and body. So the Thai forest monks will tell you, okay, when you sit, you must be able to separate your mind, fly outside and see your body. They will tell you this, then that is insight. If you cannot leave your body and cannot see your body, then that's no insight. So that is their version now. So the more steps you come up, the more different interpretation and the more, so many different tangent, off tangent. So that's the issue now. So we go back to the basics, to the original sutta, which talks about just 1 step. Just think of impermanence. All these other extra things, we call it byproduct and all those extra sceneries, which is subjective to individual. Subjective to individual. So I've been researching about all these sort of supernatural phenomena one can experience. There's a neuroscientist that invent this helmet. They call it a God helmet. G-O-D, God helmet. Supposed to induce religious or spiritual experiences. So they wear this helmet, they play around with the magnetic frequency waves, and these test subjects all can feel different things. Some of them feel like they can fly out of the body, and some of them say, they can see certain things or see ghosts or what kind of things. So they've been experimenting these kind of things long ago. So all these extra things one may perceive, if it doesn't reduce greed and hatred, it is nothing Dhamma, yeah? It is not true Dhamma. All these are just external phenomena, sightseeing only. Okay, so back to what we are doing. So later in our routine, we are just going to familiarize with the 4 elements first. As long as there's 4 elements, there will be the 5 aggregates there. So that's the relation between Nama Rupa. Yeah? When you pay attention to some element, maybe heat, who observes the heat? Or what observes the heat? Yeah? Is the perception, the perception and the consciousness and so on. So all the aggregates are there. Yeah? All the aggregates are there. So if, let's say, we never pay attention to something, like the tree behind your back, because you never turn around and look at the tree, doesn't mean the tree doesn't exist. Yeah, but we need both nama rupa for the tree to exist. Yeah, both nama rupa for the tree to exist, at least in our mind. So that is the idea. Okay, so what we are going to do now, find the comfortable posture. You want to stand also can. So this one can be done in any posture, standing, sitting, walking, lying down. So you find one posture you're okay, and then we're going to sort of observe or feel the elements first. So for this one, you can open your eyes also. Choose to half close or half open your eyes. And yes, your question. Yeah, you can walk, no problem. Yeah, can walk. Yeah. Nama rupa. Nama rupa means mind and matter. Yeah. Yeah, the 5 aggregates is 色受想行识咯5 aggregates. So nama 就是心rupa 是色跟心咯色体啦色跟心So this is nama rupa 5 aggregates. So nama, the mind will be feeling, perception, mental formation, consciousness. Rupa or this form, So that's the first aggregate. So total there are 5 aggregates. Okay, so no question already. Okay, then we start. Okay, so we familiarize ourselves with the 4 elements first, the sensations. We start to feel the body. So there's no need to purposely control or generate or create any of these sensations. We let it appear by itself, and we make peace with it first. Wish it well and happy. New sensation appear, wish it well and happy. So the idea is we let things appear by itself without interfering. And what we're doing is just reflecting, noting, intentional labeling, that's all. All the mental function is by itself. Okay, once you are quite comfortable with this detecting the elements within the confines of the body, then we let the mind sort of freestyle. That means now without restricting this area of attention within the confines of the body, we let the mind free, let the mind loose. That means wherever you want to run, let it run. Open the restriction. Just like how COVID, let loose the restriction. So everybody can travel everywhere. So the mind, let it travel anywhere. So our job now is to be this GPS tracker, to know where is your attention every moment. So your attention can be located with the 4 elements. So to know how this attention arises, how it passes away. So the idea is no interfering, do not deliberately direct to any direction, do not control, do not hold it there. So let it operate naturally as possible, the most natural kind of process. No interference. So the whole idea is to learn to see things as they are, how things operate naturally, nature, how it operates. So normally we see things as what we want it to be. So now it's the other way around. Now we see things as they are. That means no interference. So the only thing we do is intentional labeling. When attention appears somewhere, arising, then disappear, falling, or just use one word also can, change. Because once you do not label, then the mind will drift off. Lots of dramas really. Hollywood shows, many K-dramas, many series in the mind. So the foundation is always the elements. Once you lose the elements, only means a high chance of daydreaming. And the phenomena of detachment is the same. If you detach, if you reduce clinging, reduce craving, the settling of the mind is the same kind of phenomenon. So the mind will move around through these 6 senses, your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. So the nature of the mind is to keep running around, called mental formation. So the law of this samsara is everything is impermanent. And now we're going to investigate this impermanence. And while maintaining this non-interference mind. So I give an example of this non-interference. It's just like maybe a documentary film, like Animal Planet, animal documentary film. We always be like the cameraman. So we just observe the animal or the monkey mind. So this animal, whatever it move, however it move from one place to another, that is its most natural kind of behavior. So the cameraman, by right, usually they don't interfere. But nowadays, the modern show, these TV hosts, they go and interfere. They go and wrestle with the animal. And a lot of times they get injured, they get bitten or stung by the animal. So when we interfere with the mind, high chance we'll get suffering. High chance of tension and stress, because the animal, the monkey mind will retaliate. And how are we going to investigate when we leave the monkey mind alone? We have to take note and learn something. So when the mind sort of moves around by itself, we can ask ourselves these questions. We can investigate these aggregates one by one. So we start off with the form aggregate. So the form aggregate are the 4 elements, earth, fire, wind, water elements, and the tension, hard, soft sensations, movements, heat. All these are called the 4 element sensations. And we can start off with assisting question. So the first question, are these elements permanent or impermanent by itself, without you interfering, without you fixing? And the second question, are these 4 elements truly self? Are the forms truly you? Are they truly self? That's the second question. And the third question, if the forms are truly self, then you should have total control of it, right? So you can tell the elements, I want the same temperature forever, I want to feel the same warmth. Yeah? I do not want to have any hardness or any tension. I want this sensation to be soft. And if you deliberately try to control, try to change the elements, will it create stress? Will it create tension and suffering? So we do not need to theorize too much. We stick with the mainly the observation, observation and evidence. Don't need to over conceptualize. And the next aggregate is this feelings. So feelings are defined as pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral feelings. So whenever we place our attention anywhere with any of the form, there will be feelings. So we can ask ourselves these assisting questions. First question, are these feelings permanent or impermanent by itself and without you interfering? So you just need to observe and no need to over speculate. And the second question, are these feelings truly self? Are they truly you or yours? If they are truly self, then you should have total control of these feelings. You can tell these feelings, I do not want to have painful feelings at all. I just want to have pleasant feelings all the time. And if you try to control these feelings, will it cause tension, stress, and suffering? So throughout the whole process, also need to observe this level of detachment. If let's say the more you contemplate, the more worked up, the more stressed, then that is not real vipassana meditation. Becomes academic thinking. So there should be reflection that leads to detachment, calming of the mind. Okay, then the third aggregate is this perception. So perception are basically the past memories. And past memories, all the labels or experiences or images from the past, you're trying to recreate them, trying to make sense of what you're perceiving, what to perceive the stimuli. So the first question, are these perceptions permanent or impermanent by themselves? And these images and labels that appear, are they the same? And second question, are these perceptions truly self? Is it truly you or yours? If it is truly self, then you should have total control over these perceptions. Yeah, you can tell your memory, I want to recall everything, all the textbook I learned since primary school and kindergarten, all the words. Is your memory and perception truly self, truly reliable? And if you try to force, to crack your brain, to try to remember, then this will it cause any tension and suffering? And the fourth aggregate is mental formation. So mental formation is basically the moment the thought is being constructed. That is mental formation. Every time the mind generates this new perception or new feeling, new form, so that is actually mental formation, or basically karmic formation. We meditated on equanimity, we reflect on karma. So karmic formation equals to mental formation. So we can ask ourselves these assisting questions. First question, are these mental formations permanent or impermanent by themselves? If you do not interfere, does it just produce only one thought and just stay there? Okay, so a lot of meditators, they want to, especially when they do samatha meditation, they want to force the mind, just have only one thought or no thought. And the second question, are these mental formations truly self? Is it truly you or yours? And the third question, If this mental formation is truly you or yours, can you control these mental formations? Like the samatha practitioners, you tell the mind, no thinking. Some people are no thinking. Or tell your mind, okay, only have one thought, just stay in one place. And if you try to control, will there be tension and stress and the suffering? So this is actually a very essential insight. If a person wants to bring over to samatha practice, they understand the impermanent nature of the mind, and they bring to sort of restricting the mind in a way that doesn't cause tension. Okay, and the last aggregate is called consciousness. So for consciousness is basically the awareness or the attention. And the first question we can ask ourselves, are this consciousness permanent or impermanent by themselves? So that's another way to look at consciousness. Aside from the sixth sense consciousness, you can pay attention to your eye, your ear, your nose, tongue, body and mind. This awareness has different quality, It is often stained or contaminated with different emotions. Sometimes it can be happy emotions, sad emotion, wholesome, unwholesome kind of emotions. Sometimes it can get more intense, sometimes it's blurrish, sometimes if a person is calmer or have some concentration, it will affect this consciousness. Or if a person has more wisdom, more detachment, it will affect the clarity of the consciousness as well. So the quality of this consciousness have a wide range of spectrum. Right, so this consciousness, is it permanent or impermanent? Is the quality always the same? And the second question, is this consciousness or this awareness truly self, truly you or yours? And if you think this awareness is you or yours, can you, let's say, tell this consciousness to stay pure forever, stay in the same quality or same level of peace or same whatever forever. And you try to do that, will it cause any kind of tension, stress or suffering? So basically to keep on reflecting on this impermanence and continue this detachment, and your challenge is to see how far can the mind detach always. How far can you go against the stream? Or how far can you travel against the stream and reach the source, so-called the source. And you may open your eyes if your eyes are closed. You have a short Q&A if you have any issues. Who cannot feel anything? Who cannot feel your attention moving? Who cannot detect? Huh? Cannot detect your attention? Cannot feel anything? Huh? Cannot feel anything, your attention? Blur, okay. Alright, okay. So if it's blur, then you do something more obvious, like walking. Huh? So walking, you can feel the contact of the feet, so that's more obvious. Huh? So you start off with walking. So from walking, you can feel the attention moving from feet to feet. Then you can maybe do sitting. Yeah. Anyone else? Any questions? No issues? Yeah. Okay.
Maybe for the benefit for the others being curious.
Okay.
I think it's not good to practice samatha vipassana switching to swing to get settled down, right?
It's not say to switch or not switch. I would say it depends on condition. Depends on what's your state of mind. If let's say the mind is in a very sluggish state, then it's good to do more investigation, more vipassana. Yeah? And if the mind is too restless, then it's good to do samatha to calm down the mind. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So the frogs were having a good time.
Okay.
And what are the skillful ways to maintain calmness? Otherwise, would be to switch to open awareness.
Calmness. As long as you intentionally have right effort, right thought all the time, it will result in skillful calmness. So I always believe calmness is always the byproduct of our right effort, right thought and stuff like that. Yeah. So regardless of what mode, the mind can be open awareness or focus, you need to have this right thought all the time.
Yes, Bhante, except that that process is constantly and at the same time randomly interrupted.
Interrupted by
frogs.
Okay, then never mind. If got some external disturbances, then come back to the right reflection. It's normal to be distracted. Restless mind is one of the defilements of fetters. We say there are 10 fetters, 10 defilements. So only an arahant can truly overcome restlessness. So if the mind is affected by restlessness, don't worry, that's very normal. That's very normal. So if there's no restlessness, you don't have to come here already. You don't have to come here anymore. Because some people, they tell me, Bhante, my mind, like monkey, run here, run there. Not suitable for meditation. I'm not meant for meditation, so I don't want to meditate. So it's like, that's very normal. No? You should meditate because this is the means there's still room for improvement. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anyone else at the back? Yeah. You wait for the mic first. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Everyone can hear. Okay. All right.
Hello, Bhante. If let's say we are doing open awareness, can we move around our hand, our body?
Yeah, you can do walking meditation in that. So these different modes can be done in any posture.
So if let's say I do in sitting down, open awareness, so meaning that I can move, turn my hand anywhere, is it?
You can try. Ultimately, we have to bring it to that level in our daily activities. First, we mindful of the 4 postures, then there's a mindfulness of daily activities. So that is part of mindfulness of the body. So daily activities will be turning your head, walking, eating, going to the bathroom. So all these activities also need to have this mindfulness.
So not necessary I have to sit in still.
Yeah, this is just for formal session, formal lesson. But ultimately, a lot of times people, after the end of meditation retreat or meditation class, then they go back to their daily life. Because daily life, you need to do so many things, Then it's like, hey, cannot meditate anymore. So actually not true. So you have to bring this state of mind or this reflection in all your activities. All activities. Yeah, so that is true meditation. Yeah. So actually there's always got time to practice, not say no time to practice. So you have no more excuse to say, no time to practice. Because every moment is time to practice. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, Bhante. Just now, in a split second, I saw like a forest, like a very calm forest. Is it my imagination? Just for a split
Okay, we just treat everything we see or we perceive as just passing scenery, still part of the mind sense door. Mind sense door, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Bhante, regarding the vipassana whereby you have that open awareness on your surrounding, which I have that experience. For instance, let's say you are stimulated by certain stimuli, right?
Okay.
So you pay attention to that, to that awareness.
Yep.
It is ideal if, let's say, it has certain tempo on it. However, when it comes to daily routine, that stimulation can be pretty fast.
Okay.
Somebody calls you,
Yeah.
something drops,
Yeah.
your child call you, the
okay.
boss call you. So it turns to like double-edged sword.
Okay.
If you do not know how to switch. So how do you?
Okay, so that's why we have I introduce different meditation subjects and different meditation subjects. So if the mind cannot be tracking all the movement all the time very fast, then you do the power saving mode. Power saving mode. So power saving mode is actually the within the confines of the body. That means it's not total 100% vipassana anymore. So there's a samatha element. So you can wish emotion, wish all beings well and happy, or you wish your own within the body well and happy, like that. So you switch to the samatha mode. So the loving kindness is ideal, or any of the 6 recollections, think of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, all those. Yeah.
Yeah, but even in that situation, you are still being constantly stimulated by.
Yeah, correct.
No matter you switch samatha, the vipassana, or whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you adapt to that kind of situation?
Yeah. So all this requires some training, because the more we train, the wholesome state of mind, the emotional peace of contentment will be passively present there. You become stronger or more obvious. So the more you practice deeper, it becomes easier to maintain. Yeah, easier. That means when you do something hectic, that peaceful emotion is still there. Okay, never mind. No battery. Impermanence. Yep.
So meaning you still need to constantly self-practice.
That means you continuously do it regardless of busy or not busy. That's the idea. Yeah. So it's very normal to lose yourself. That means totally forget about the reflection, and then you engross with your work. That's very normal. Yeah, we call this part of we call it restlessness, like previously the question. So always come back once you're mindful again, and come back along like that.
But it's quite frustrating when you're aware that you're supposed to be present.
Okay. Don't need to be too frustrated. This one is very normal. Yeah. Okay.
On the other side,
Yeah.
you let go, then
Okay.
kind of like easily distracted.
Okay. Yeah. So you need to find this moderation of relaxation, not to be too tense or too much expectation. So this is the story of this Venerable Ananda. Yeah. So Venerable Ananda is the Buddha's attendant. Yeah, he's basically the Buddha's tape recorder, because last time they don't put the teaching to writing, so he remember everything. Whatever the Buddha say, he remember. Yeah? So even when he's not around, the Buddha went somewhere else to give teaching. After he come back, he will request from the Buddha, what do you teach? He will remember. So Venerable Ananda is the encyclopedia of all the teachings. So what happened is, he's the last disciple to reach enlightenment. In fact, right after the Buddha's passing away, he's still not yet enlightened. Yeah, so until this Venerable Maha sent out an invitation, so he invited all the enlightened monks to attend this first Buddhist council to consolidate all the Buddha's teachings. So Venerable Ananda is the key figure because he remembers all the teachings. So by right he should be there, but because he's still not yet fully enlightened, so he cannot enter yet. So he was struggling very hard. He practiced, now he started to really practice. So he cannot reach enlightenment. The more he practiced, there was so tense, too much tension, he cannot reach enlightenment. So on the night before the meeting, night before the first Buddhist council, then he decided, okay, let me take a rest. He tried so hard already, so once he lie down, he relax only, then he reach enlightenment. Yeah, so basically you need to find this moderation, then you can progress. If you too tense, like the common Buddha's life story of the stringed instrument, string musical instrument. If you're too tense, the string will break. Too loose, you can't play any note. So you need to find the right tension. Okay. So it's for individual, because everybody got different hecticness of their workload. Yeah? So you need to find your own moderation. Some other people else may be more senang, they have little things to do. So everyone have different kind of moderation.
What is the sign? Okay. What is the sign? What is the symptom?
What's the symptom? Okay. Basically, when you come for retreat, then basically you are experimenting the different scale of the different workload. Yeah, so that's why when we read the Karaniya Metta Sutta, one of them is simple in duties. Yeah, simple in duties. That means you need to find the right amount, the moderate amount of workload, so that the mind will not feel too slack or too tense. Yeah. So in your life, when you do some chores or whatever it is, then you need to find at which point you start to feel too stressed. Is it because of lack of reflection or what? So you need to play around with the parameters. Okay, all right. Okay, at the back we have one.
One day, during when I walked in just on the grill, I can feel the tension. If I focus too much, that means I use a lot of my energy. Then suddenly I realized that certain part of the dust you only need to wipe it very lightly, unless it's a stain. Then suddenly I feel the calmness from just now until now. But inside I feel very happy. Is this the effect of the balance?
Yeah, there must be some kind of right reflection that you've done along the way that produced this happiness. So that's the indicator that you're on the right track. There must be some happiness there.
So when I start to wipe all
Yeah.
the place, I feel it's very worthy
Yeah.
to do it.
Okay.
Until now, I still have the calmness
Okay.
and the happiness.
Sadhu. So that's why cultivation is not just about sitting alone. That's why we need these Phú Bao and the Gong De, they both come hand in hand. So the good deeds that we do, it helps with the mental cultivation also, or the good karma. So that's why we have the assign the chores and the whatever duties. So everybody, when they contribute, then there's a sense of this dana, practicing this dana, this giving.
Now I sit down, but it's not because I'm tired, because I'm tired or what.
Yeah.
It's just very calm.
Okay. Good.
Bante, 你可以讲华语吗？在那个 meditation 刚才你讲的 open awareness 啊，是不是啊？可以讲成华语吗？有时我听不懂，或讲什么就去讲去。对不起。
Okay, anybody good in Mandarin to translate? 给这个 open awareness 就是
简单的就可以了。
就是不要专注。通常我们学过的前几天的方式，就是要专注一个地方，或者我们修这个无量心，就是扩大这个心。这个 open awareness 呢，就是让你的心自由发挥，就是他要跑哪里就给他跑哪里哦。可是这个方式也是需要每时每刻去知道这个注意力怎么样生灭这样哦，才会有智慧了。不然变成做白日梦。好 ，OK。
我们在家里做家务做什么都可以啦，静静的做这样。
就是每时每刻要观这个无常要思维这样子咯So the simplest way, regardless of activity, no matter how hectic, you stick to one mantra, one label. Can be loving kindness or impermanence. Because the mind will sure fall somewhere, will sure pay attention somewhere, but you just stick to this right thought. So different tradition and different. So the Thai forest tradition, maybe they use Bhutto. Use Bhutto.
因为我回去我就会忘记哦。但有没有在 YouTube 可以找得到？好像阿邦爹也可以放在 YouTube 里面，我们可以看在里面找。
华语的就没有。华
语的别人讲的也没有
华语我就不认识不大认识
对，我自己去找。
OK
Thank you。
我自己找就有很多种方式。OK。Anyone else? Yep. Front.
Hello. But during your open awareness vipassana, you don't actually chant this. May you be
we don't
well.
chant. Yeah, we just label impermanence. Yeah.
Or you label impermanence. But isn't it you should be aware of the sensation that five aggregates?
Awareness alone itself doesn't bring wisdom. You need the labeling. You need the right reflection, right thought. If not, every day a lot of things change all the time. If let's say before we learn Buddhism or before we learn meditation, a lot of things change. I know. I hope from last time I young this I know there's change, but no detachment. So every moment you need to keep reflecting, and you convert this change, this observation to detachment and wisdom. So every moment there must be an intentional labeling. So that's the conversion process. Okay.
This Sayadaw also teaches Vipassana. So is there a difference between those two that
Okay, so if you want to talk about the Burmese one, then I'm not very familiar with theirs because there are many branches, many styles of Vipassana, many schools of Vipassana. So each will teach their own different style. Yeah.
Because in Sayadaw teaching, what we learned was basically for an activity, you have to observe and then you label. Like for example, when you're walking, for example, you're lifting forward, down, put your feet down, then you have the feeling of the feet.
Okay, so the labeling part I agree, intention labeling, okay.
And also check your emotions, your feelings, and bring it back to your feet.
Okay, so if that's okay, then a bit of restricted mind. Okay, okay. Anyone else?
Bante, would you like to tell us a story of how the monk actually attained enlightenment when the Buddha gave him the cloth just to clean, and then you say why? I can't remember the story.
So that's the story of this Venerable Chula Pandaka. Venerable Chula Pandaka. So same with cleaning. This Tan is cleaning also. So but slightly different context. So this who have heard of this story before? The monk doing cleaning and got enlightenment. Or heard before? Yeah. So for those who haven't heard before, this is the monk who supposed to be, we call it intellectually challenged monk. That means cannot memorize things. You give him one chanting book, he chant when he start to learn the first verse, let's say Buddhang Saranam Gacchami. When you want to learn the second verse, Dhammang Saranam Gacchami, then you forget the first verse. Buddhang Saranam Gacchami, forget already. Then you ask him to go back to the first verse, learn Buddhang Saranam Gacchami. Then you forget the second verse, Dhammang Saranam Gacchami, forget. So basically he's like hopeless in memorizing anything. So basically he can't memorize. So but he is in a community or group or monastic that specialize in chanting, recitation and this chanting. So his elder brother is also inside, a monk, and the elder brother is Maha Pandaka, is enlightened monk. So this group of monks can't help him. You cannot memorize. That's the only method they know. They recite until maybe they purify the mind through these recitations. So so this group of monks told this Chola Pandaka, no, we are so sorry, we cannot help you. I think you have to leave our group. And you need to leave the monastery, maybe find some other place. So so this Chola Pandaka was outside the road, outside the monastery, crying. My brother don't want me crying. Then the Buddha happened to walk past. The Buddha happened to walk past, and he told this Chula Pandaka and told him that, Chula Pandaka told the Buddha what happened. So the Buddha told this Chula Pandaka, okay, don't worry, right? You're still the disciple of the Buddha. So gave him a special assignment. Asked this Chula Pandaka to come to his room, and give him special chore. They take his cloth and start cleaning something. A bit like Karate Kid, clean something. And the Buddha asked this Chula Pandaka, can you just memorize one word? And to him, one word, no problem, one word can. Anything longer than one stanza or one verse, then got issues. So one word, no problem. So the Buddha said, okay, the cloth is white color, right? You just think of the word white. So he think white. Then he need to turn the cloth when he clean something. So he turn, got dust. The cloth got dust. So got turn brown, turn black. Then he see, ta-da, he realized the Dhamma. He realized the truth. He realized the truth. Then from then on, then he slowly got enlightened. So that is the practice of this Venerable Chula Pandaka. Yeah? But because his specialty is this white cloth, the visualization of white, so he also got this psychic power. So he's able to split his body to multiple bodies, multiple men, I think. So this is his specialty. Yeah, so that's the story. Sort of, yeah, 2 skills at one go. Yeah. So the moral of the story is mindfulness is not equals to memory. Mindfulness is not equals to memory. Some people think, especially the Buddhist community, we use mindfulness wrongly. We use it in the wrong context all the time. Like for example, we forget to bring our keys out, or you forgot to bring something, then your Buddhist friend will tell you, no mindfulness. Or let's say you walk, you're not careful, you trip and fall, your Buddhist friend will tell you, no mindfulness. Next time be more mindful, something like that. So that is wrong usage of the word, or not so right usage of the word. So the non-Buddhists will tell you, you trip and fall, next time be more careful. The terms they use is maybe more correct. Or let's say if you forget to bring something, your non-Buddhist friend will tell you, hey, why you so forgetful? Next time remember to bring lah. So they will tell you the correct term, the correct usage of the word. Whereas the Buddhists use the wrong wrong usage, everything mindfulness. Yeah. So in the older usage of mindfulness, so we call it sati. The Pali word is sati, mindfulness. So before the Buddha got enlightened, sati or mindfulness can be equated to memory. Yeah, good memory. So a person can recall everything the teacher taught, then it's called this mindfulness. So that is the old usage. But after the Buddha got enlightened, he came up with this new term called Samma Sati, right mindfulness. Right mindfulness. So right mindfulness is actually the mindfulness of these 4 foundations: impermanence of the body, feeling, mind, and the Dhamma. So it's very specific, just these 4 things. Yeah? But we're going to talk about maybe mindful of the weather, mindful of the stock market, mindful of who owe you money and stuff like that. So that is we call mundane, circular kind of mindfulness. Yeah, a person can be very good with the mundane kind of mindfulness, very good with memory. Remember, who did wrong things to me? Who owe me money, right? So it can be very mindful of this, very good memory, but doesn't equate to detachment. Doesn't equate to detachment. So the right mindfulness is the one that leads to detachment. Yeah. So both have certain, I would say certain usages. The circular mindfulness may be important to your livelihood. If a person is always forgetful, then you get into trouble, right? So you need certain good memory for your whatever daily life routine. At the meantime, you also need to have detachment. Too much of one thing, let's say too much circular mindfulness, will make you, let's say, a high performer. Because you're so good in everything, so efficient, so proficient, chances you'll be doing well. So a person can be very high performer, maybe earn lots of money or whatever it is, very successful, but can be very frustrated, very upset, easily angry, very lost, that kind of stuff. So this is lack of this right mindfulness. And vice versa, a person can be like this Venerable Chula Pandaka. He doesn't have this memory, but he has this somehow right mindfulness. So that is the story. Yeah.
How do you find moderation?
Up to individual. You need to find something that works for you. Yeah, something that works for you. So it's for individual to explore and find out. Okay. Anyone else? Yeah.
Back to the story. The white cloth. How does that become the truth?
How does it become what?
Find all the truth.
Oh, find out the truth. Yeah, okay, because he's the monk that cannot remember long instruction, long teachings. You basically can't give him long sermons. He won't remember. So you need to give him experiential impermanence. Experiential. So when the cloth turned from white to black or white to brown, and he realized impermanence. So it's more experiential. Yeah. Okay. Alright, anyone else? Okay, if not, I leave you all for this so-called self-practice. And I see you later for lunch.